Ilia Topuria's manager may have just spilled the beans on what fans can expect next, and it's not what most were hoping for.
I wanted to do it according to like who deserves the shot. It would be, in my mind, it would be either Justin Gaethje, who is a very compelling argument for deserving the shot. He was the interim champion, changed the progression of Tony Ferguson's career. Like that one just beat him down. Man.
Yeah.
It was a brutal fight. I mean, he's got so many victories. He just beat Fiziev again after getting knocked out by Holloway. He's one of the best of the best. You know, he's fought for the title before. He fought Khabib. He's really good, man.
But what would stop him?
And he's a big star, and he also deserves it. The other guy would be Arman Tsarukyan, and he could be a world champion. If I wanted to do it according to not marketability, but rather like who deserves it, it would be either Gaethje or Tsarukyan.
In a now deleted Instagram story, Łukasz Orzel hinted that the undefeated lightweight champ is gearing up to defend his title at UFC 322 on November 15, and his opponent looks to be none other than Justin Gaethje. The post wasn't subtle either. It straight up called for Gaethje's knockout and ended with a confident "and still." Although the post was taken down quickly, it didn't go unnoticed, and now fans are piecing together the clues, trying to make sense of what this could mean for the lightweight division.
It's happening, guys. I just want to go ahead and say this. Nobody in their right mind wants to see this matchup. Justin Gaethje's going to get slimed out in round 1. Bro, we do not want to see this fight. We know what the outcome's going to be. If you do want to see this fight, if you're for this fight, if you want Gaethje to fight Topuria, man, you must hate the guy. I'm just being honest, okay? Because Gaethje's going to get knocked out in round number 1, and then he's probably going to retire. And that is going to be the last visual you will ever see and ever remember about Justin Gaethje. Is him flat on the canvas, just like Max Holloway did him, but probably even worse. Now, let me throw this out there. This is not officially confirmed, but it's been very heavily rumored. And sure, if this fight is made official, I'll be a little bit excited because we'll get to see Ilia Topuria, add another highlight reel knockout to the resume, so that's cool. But if we're being honest, Ilia Topuria should just wait it out. Gaethje should fight Paddy Pimblett, or maybe Ilia just fights Arman Tsarukyan, the #1 contender. But anyway, man, maybe at least we'll get an Ilia versus Paddy matchup next year. Maybe Ilia versus Islam, but let me know what y'all think about this matchup.
The rumors started gaining traction when Renato Moicano casually mentioned that he's been hearing whispers about Topuria's first title defense going down at UFC 322. That date, November 15th, also lines up with when UFC typically returns to Madison Square Garden, which is known for hosting some of the biggest fights of the year. Moicano's comment didn't name names initially, but soon after, Orzel's post gave fans something concrete to speculate on, especially with the clear mention of Gaethje and the event hashtag.
I truthfully believe Justin Gaethje will take this fight to Ilia Topuria, and I think Justin's the only one who has a chance.
Only one?
Justin Gaethje, a highlight finisher. This dude goes out there and he promises a big fight every time, and what does he do? He lays his life out there every single time. You're gonna get two guys who are gonna go in there and want to strike with each other. There would not be one single shot of a takedown in this fight. They're gonna stand there in the middle and they're gonna bang it out, and whoever lands first wins in that fight.
I think something that people have missed with Justin Gaethje is the Max Holloway fight overshadows what he has done. I don't think people give him enough credit for what he did against Rafael Fiziev
Twice.
back 2 weeks notice with a very dangerous guy in the lightweight division, and he put on a absolute clinic. I get it. He is 1-1 in his last 2 fights, but he deserves a title shot. I truthfully think so because what he has done for the company. This is a guy that has said yes every single time. But let us know in the comments who you guys got.
At first, fans and pundits expected Ilia Topuria's first defense to come against someone else entirely. The biggest name tossed around was Paddy Pimblett, and for good reason, after Topuria's stunning first-round knockout of Charles Oliveira to win the vacant lightweight title at UFC 317. Pimblett stormed the cage to confront him. Their long-standing beef, including trash talk, altercations, and years of tension, seemed to set the stage perfectly. Fans got a taste of that drama when security had to separate the two during their face-off, which looked like an intentional teaser for a future bout.
The only fight to me. We haven't seen two people genuinely dislike each other since Conor Khabib. I hate him. I wanted him flip pain on his life. I'd like that fight to go 4 minutes 50 seconds into the 5th round, and I've landed 907 elbows and I've disfigured his face. I don't want a quick knockout. I want to put him through pain.
But despite the hype, UFC President Dana White later downplayed the encounter, calling it unscripted and hinting that it wasn't in the promotion's plans. That statement cooled things down quickly, even though fans still hope the grudge match would be next. Now, with Gaethje's name being pushed to the front of the line, those dreams may be fading, at least for now. Topuria's possible fight against Gaethje hasn't exactly thrilled everyone. On platforms like Reddit, reactions have been mixed. While Gaethje is undoubtedly a fan favorite due to his relentless fighting style and thrilling wars inside the octagon, many feel that this isn't the right matchup. Some fans argue that Topuria should be facing fresh contenders, not fighters from what they call the old guard. Others worry for Gaethje, believing that stylistically it could be a rough night for him.
How are you gonna knock Ilia's head off?
Ilia is a beast. You know, the confidence is crazy right now. I think it's a battle of momentum, so I have to go in there and fight for that momentum early and fight the best I can. You know, be prepared as I can be. These are the most elite fighters in the world, and he's one of those guys, so that's why I want to fight him.
But from the UFC's perspective, the Gaethje fight makes sense in a few ways. Gaethje has been very vocal this year about wanting a title shot, even saying that if he doesn't get one, he might retire. After his latest win over Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313, he put the pressure on the UFC brass, making it clear that his career was at a crossroads. That March fight came on short notice, but Gaethje still came through with a solid performance, adding another win to his resume. Given his experience, name value, and action-packed style, a title shot for him may be more about timing than rankings.
Yeah, just one more for you, Justin. Obviously a super interesting time at lightweight right now, a lot going on. This fight will impact things too. Where do you feel you stand? I know you made it clear you wanted a title shot. Are you confident that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight that I want. You know, obviously I'm biased. I'm going to fight for what I feel like I deserve. But he feels the same. She feels the same. We're all biased towards ourselves. It's me or Arman. I believe somebody has to fight him this year, and I think I'm in a better spot than Arman, so someone's gonna fight him. I hope it's MSG, New York City. I get to fight him, and then I get to defend it on the White House lawn. That's what I'm planning for.
Meanwhile, another top contender, Arman Tsarukyan, was seen as a more deserving option by many, especially after being the backup for UFC 317. Ranked number 2 at lightweight, Tsarukyan has quietly put together a dominant run in the division and was in the conversation for the next title shot. However, after being forced to pull out of UFC 311 at the last minute, Dana White seemed to change his tone about Tsarukyan's standing. Despite being seen as one of the most technically sound fighters in the division, he may now have to fight again before getting his crack at the belt.
Khabib was talking about the best lightweight in the world. He said that is hands down Arman Tsarukyan. He doesn't think Ilia Topuria has a chance against Arman Tsarukyan. I believe it's the hardest matchup for Ilia. I just think it's hard to say Arman is the best lightweight in the world when Ilia is the champion. I also think that he has the best feelings for Ilia and the way Ilia operates. A brash forward guy like that reminds you of the person that you had one of the most nasty interactions with.
Interestingly, Tsarukyan hasn't been sitting around waiting. He's been active in other combat sports, participating in submission grappling matches. He's already picked up 2 grappling wins this year and is scheduled for another appearance at ACBJJ 18 in Moscow next month. That keeps him in shape and in the spotlight while the UFC figures out its plans for the lightweight title picture. What makes Tsarukyan so dangerous, according to some analysts and even UFC legends like Khabib Nurmagomedov, is his wrestling heavy style and strategic fighting. Khabib, who has an unblemished record himself, gave Tsarukyan a massive vote of confidence recently. He broke down how Tsarukyan's size, wrestling pressure, and striking at range would likely overwhelm someone like Topuria, who's yet to face a high-level grappler in the UFC. Khabib believes Tsarukyan has all the tools to become champion and sees the potential matchup with Topuria as highly favorable for the Armenian fighter.
Я не вижу шанса у Топури.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает, да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался.
Выиграет он при этом за счет борьбы, правильно?
За счет ММА стиля.
Но,
Это не вольная борьба.
но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хорошие локти. Они такие у него, хорошо заходят. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Если в начале где-то они как-то дрались бы, может быть, у него был бы шанс. Я например, 80-20, я вижу победителем.
Going back to the idea of Topuria versus Pimblett, there's still a segment of fans, and even former fighters, who think it would have been the smartest move from a business perspective. Shael Sonnen recently gave his thoughts on the matter, suggesting that from a financial standpoint, Pimblett is the bigger draw, even more than Islam Makhachev fight. He acknowledged that Pimblett's popularity, mic skills, and marketing presence could have translated into the biggest payday for Topuria. In his view, the fight game is all about prize fighting, chasing the biggest reward. While he didn't dismiss Gachi or Tsarukyan's abilities, crews believe Paddy brought the most value, at least commercially.
Islam and Ilia is not this massive fight that people are trying to make believe it is. It could, with a little bit of time. I'm just sharing for you. Those guys are a little bit too close to the trees to see the forest. Ilia Topuria versus Paddy the Baddy does a bigger gate than Ilia Topuria versus Islam. Right now, you put a belt around Islam, maybe we're having a different conversation.
It's an interesting shift in direction. Rather than rushing to settle personal grudges or giving the spot to the most technically deserving challenger, the UFC appears to be leaning toward a matchup that offers a balance of risk and reward. Gachi, despite being lower ranked, is a recognizable name who guarantees violence and action, the kind of fighter who headlines big cards and draws eyes to the screen. Whether he still has what it takes to beat someone as sharp and explosive as Topuria is a different question altogether. In the meantime, Paddy Pimblett might have to take a different path toward his title aspiration. His showdown with Topuria will likely happen someday, given their history and fan interest. But if Gachi really is next, Pimblett will either need to fight again or wait longer than expected for his chance.
Everything is so sharp. His technique is flawless. Everything's flawless. His boxing is so dangerous. He's so dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous with submissions. He's dangerous with kicking. He's dangerous. His heart is dangerous. He fought this dude, Jai Herbert, and he went up to 155 for that fight. He gets head kicked in the first round by... Jai Herbert is a nasty stand-up fighter, and he caught Topuria with the perfect head kick. And Topuria, he's in real trouble. He got dropped, and he scrambled, got a hold of him. Next round, sent him into the dark lands. Blasted him against literally slept him, face planted him, and walk off KO. He's an animal, dude. He's a real problem because he's intelligent, he's dedicated, he's driven, he's got that kind of confidence that those championship guys have, where they know they're the best even before they're the best.
As for Tsarukyan, he remains a dark horse. Technically brilliant, consistently improving, and quietly building momentum. If he keeps winning, especially in other combat sports, it'll become harder and harder for the UFC to overlook him. And should Topuria get past Gachi, the path might finally open for Tsarukyan to step into the spotlight and challenge for gold. Until then, fans will be watching closely to see how UFC 322 shapes up. The leaks, the whispers, and the subtle hints all point to one thing: a collision between Topuria and Gachi is coming. Whether it's the right move or not is up for debate, but one thing's for sure: it's going to be violent.